audio frontier. This is Football Daft with Stephen Purden,
midfield dynamo and average actor,
Chris Toal,
target man, suspicious character,
and
Hey, the top end of Stevenson, Grado!
Welcome to Football Daft. It is, of course, the daftest Scottish football podcast around. I am producer John, and let's welcome the team. First, a man who's just acquired himself money off his next hair transplant after a wee recommendation to Dundee's Paul McGowan. It's Steve Purden. Why do they call you Steve Purden?
Steve. Yeah.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve. Steve Purden.
Steve Purden's his MLS name.
That is Steve Purden. So yeah, did you recommend Paul McGowan? Did you get wee? Do
you know what? No, I didn't. But when I seen that it happened, I'm thinking, why did I know? I'm sure many companies have approached him.
Surely,
honestly.
God. To turn that around, that's good for their CV, innit? Getting that sorted, fuck's sake.
That's true. Like you were saying, Grado. I mean, do you think it's just been going for ages. Like people have just been nudging him, going, "When are you fucking going over to Turkey, pal?"
Like we were saying, I think he strikes me as the type of guy that goes, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. So my hair's fine. What you talking about?
I'm looking at a transplant. I actually feel bad for the way I said that there about the guy saying it, wasn't it? Was it that bad?
Aye.
Oh, it was awful.
Oh, it was horrendous.
What if he's listening to this?
That's alright. Do you think he's just caved in? You think he's just finally caved in and went, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to shut these guys up. I'm just going to go over to Turkey and get it done.
I think he's the kind of guy, if he does listen to this, who go, I don't give a fuck.
Well, you can see that from his hair from a couple of weeks ago. Now a man who we discovered last week eats a Kit Kat in the most barbaric way possible. He doesn't split it into two fingers. He eats it as a whole. It's Chris Toal. And he's frozen. He's frozen. I hope, please get the video version of the podcast just to see the way that Chris is frozen on screen right now. It's a beautiful thing. He might return to us in a minute. And of course,
two amazing screenshots I've got to Toal frozen, man. It's a wee montage. I've got the first one. He's like that. Now he's like that.
Oh, he's away, man.
He's gone now. And that man there, he came very close this week. Very, very close, becoming best mates with Alan McGregor. This could have been a thing. Grado, how are you? I mean, you were gutted. You could have been best mates by Alan McGregor by this point. I
made an arse of that. You get invited to these things quite regular, and I just thought it was away in Edinburgh. It was a weeknight. Tuesday night, and I thought it's going to be usual fucking sitting at a table with Colin and Justin or something. It's never going to be. You know what I mean? It's the same mob that turn up to these things. And the next day I woke up and fucking McGregor's there filming St Phoenix, and I just thought, could have been at his table, man, pestering him all night, man.
Do you know what, man? I don't even need to worry about this again, because see the way you've described the things, man. I don't think you'll be getting invited again anyway, mate.
No, I do. It's a good. Listen, that's a total wrong way to look at it, because awards like that, it's not about me going to kiss arse at Rangers players. It's about recognise the heroes of Scotland or the.
So why didn't you go then?
What?
Why did you not go then?
It was a Tuesday night, Toal, I'm being honest. It was a Tuesday night, mate.
That's what I said. I emailed back saying it's a Tuesday night.
I wanted to go and enjoy myself. I wanted to meet the heroes. I mean, Alan McGregor's a hero himself, isn't he? So,
Lulu turned up for it. I couldn't believe that. I saw a picture of
Lulu.
Aye.
Oh,
Lulu.
Good Rangers man too.
Staunch.
Yeah, she turned up for it, which was very.
Wonder she's doing her ticket this season with Grado, man.
Aye. Well, back in the day, there's like footage here for back in the day getting right in about it.
Of Lulu getting stuck in a boot, aye.
in the league last season, she didn't have much to shout about.
No, I tell you what.
Very good, Chris. Very good. He's back, by the way. He's unfrozen again.
Sorry about that.
That's quite good.
Internet's fucked up. I don't know, man. I'm going to fucking fling this hero thing out the window. It's not fucked up at all until last night when I was doing the movie podcast. That's a Great Scott Cinema Club movie podcast.
There it is.
I love it when you do that.
Right, last week, boys, we were chatting about delivery room disasters. Remember that? And a few people have reached out with theirs. Ricky got in touch first of all, said not the most dramatic story, but the missus had a very long labour, over 3 days, and it just happened to be Christmas. So the brilliant nurses gave us a full turkey Christmas dinner. Poor lassie was in far too much agony, so I got to eat 2 Christmas dinners. Boost. Brilliant.
He sent the photo as well. It looks alright for a hostel dinner.
Oh, the dinners are alright, Bob.
In a hospital?
The dinners are nice. Some of them, some hospitals get it transported up from Manchester. That isn't good, but a lot of them do it in-house.
Did you get, when you were going through the labour, did you get a wee bit of scran, Grado, did you?
I think I got a, do you know what I got? I got loads and loads of pieces because one of the caterers, one of the women that worked in the kitchen, shouted me in and she put hundreds of pieces and cold meat and stuff like that in my bag, so that kind of kept me going.
I just ordered, we just ordered the McDonalds, man, after I've been sitting for about 2 days after Nicola got induced. It still wasn't happening. We ordered the McDonalds, brought it up, wait to get stuck right into it, man. I meant to take it out of the labour ward, man.
Oh,
I get 2 bowls of soup. Christmas Eve, man, 2 bowls of fucking soup.
Crusty bread with it?
Kid, no, I didn't even get a slice of the old shitey as that pan off.
They always say, don't they, that women, once they have their way in that, and if it's all calmed down, once they get their cup of tea and toast, it's meant to be like the best toast I've ever had in my life. It always makes nice. I know, you know what I mean, obviously as a guy, you'd never love to be pregnant and go through labour. However, I would like to know what that toast tastes like.
I think it's probably on a par with like the whole I mean, I'm not saying it's on a par, right? None of us guys will ever experience what women go through, right? Mm-hmm. But it's like you go away on holiday for like 2 weeks and you can't wait to get back and get the curry for your favourite Chinese or your favourite Indians or something.
Oh,
aye. You know what I mean?
I know you're away for 2 weeks. You've not had one for about 6 months.
Exactly.
On holiday. But when you come back for your holiday, like, I tell you what, I needed that. I needed that. You know what I mean? As if you did daily.
Aye, mate. Nicola's wee cousin, right? Years ago, Nicola went her hen do, right, and her wee cousin, she's older now, obviously, but she was a lot younger then. I think it was her first trip away, right? And she always was following her apart and all that. And Nicola said to us, after like 6 hours in Benidorm, right? After 6 hours, she's like, I'm just dying for a curry. Now, it's as if she's pure wanted to say that. She's wanted to experience it. I think Toal snows again.
I've not. Sorry, I was just listening to your story there.
Polish Rangers gets in touch, says delivery room story, said my wife went into labour with my firstborn. It was a long labour in the suffering general. On the first day, I was thinking, great, Wayne will be born, I can fuck off to the match along the road for Rangers Panathinaikos. That was back in 2008. Well, as it got closer to kick-off, still no sign of the wee man making an appearance. Brutal. I was trying to listen to updates on the radio, not on live TV back then. Then about midnight, her contractions started picking up and the midwife brings out the gas and air canister. Well, by the fuck, the wife rattled into it and thought she was in a party because I had the radio on playing music. Give me some sort of that, I said. Long story short, after 6 canisters between us, the wee man was born on Valentine's Day at 9:15 a.m. What a night stroke.
That sounds gallus, man. That sounds like a good laugh.
Yeah, did any of you get a show of your thing where I kept trying to date, man, but the woman kept walking and I was getting dead fear. I wanted to date, no, that way I was going, well, I'm on the next time I go.
Do you know what it's like? If you've ever inhaled a helium balloon?
Aye.
And you go to that yon dizzy way? That's what it's like. That's exactly what it's like.
Would that be the same gas, Nick? Because I remember one time, it was Rangers in Barcelona, 2007, I'm on Featherweight. I ended up, I think I've maybe spoke about this before, I ended up, all my pals were lifting me up because I had an empty, right? It was when I was young, and they dropped me, right? And see, the next day I was driving about. Now you see the wee car ambulances that have just about in the last 10, 15 years, right? And I pulled the guy out. And I was like, I goes, mate, last night, man, my pals lifted me up. But they dropped me, and I bet I said back, he's like, where do you stay? Tell him my address. He says, right, go up the road and we'll get something sorted. So he's got to jump along and maybe examine me next time. Right, man, see, I go to the house, my mate, 10 minutes later, flashing lights out my front door. I was like, oh no, man. I was like, fucking hell. And I was like, I better sit down. So I'm sitting down and they're come running in, everything all right. I'm like, it's a bit sailing that next bit. My mate's taking this great photo, right? They put the mask on me and they think they went out to get something. I just remember sitting and looking at my pal going, this is fucking too far, man. With the gas mask on, I'm going, mate, this is fucking, I feel terrible, man. You know, I would take to the hospital. So they put me in the wheelchair and gave me the fucking blanket on.
Fucking hell, man.
You fucking cart it in, kind of the way all the folk in the street are out on their flip-flops. I'm going,
the Jamie Bolton's and all that one.
Oh, I hope our Graham's alright. Oh, that's a bad one. We'll come back
anyway,
to that.
the point of the story is...
Davey, get Maureen on the phone. Graham's not well.
Aye, that's what I was fearing, because she was in Barcelona. I was fearing in case she got a fright. So part of the story, I put the fucking... they gave me the gas and air in the ambulance, and I just remember talking absolute shite. Is that the same gear?
See the stuff that you get in the hang, mate, that'll have just been oxygen. That's an oxygen mask you've had on.
Right.
Gas and air's
they gave me, but in the hangway, in the ambulance, they gave me this thing, and I was I felt as if I told them my darkest secrets.
Aye, that's exactly what it is, man. That's exactly what it is, aye.
When I was no well, man, I was pure full of morphine in the hospital, man, for like 2 days. It was fucking tremendous. Honestly, man.
See some of the stories, like, exactly. See, when Keane's ma was in labour, right? They gave her the morphine, right? And a guy came in and come back out, and she's like, he was trying to sell me stolen SIM cards. And I'm like, what? Like, see, like the dentist videos that you see when they've got the Novocaine in them and all. Honest to God, that's exactly what it was like, man. She was talking absolute pish. Don't get me wrong, that was no fucking change for her, know what I mean? She talked...
And Chris is frozen again. Oh. Right, next story comes from Penman.
Every minute, fucking hell, man.
Next story comes from Penman 1994. He says, 6 years ago, my oldest daughter was born in Larbert Hospital, and we had a wee student midwife. Anyway, the birth was quick and everything went perfect. To cut a gruesome story short, as any birth can cause, there was some damage to my Mrs. Flower Pot. So, the nurse stitches her back up, and I'm standing there not knowing where to look. As the nurse finishes, he asks me, how does that look? I just panicked and said, aye mate, looks reminiscent. Aye mate, looks good. Reminiscent of when a barber shows you the back of your hair when he's finished cutting, and you just go, aye, that's great mate, that's great.
I think it was Robbie Williams that says, witnessing your child being born is like watching your favourite pub getting burnt down.
I know. Has anyone here ever said, when you've been in the barbers and they've shown you the back with the mirror, has anyone ever said, no mate, that's fucking shite mate?
I know.
I don't get anyone in the history. Has ever said,
it's like autopilot. It's like, even before the mirror kind of comes close to it, he does just like, that's great mate, that's brilliant, that's great, that's brilliant.
See, I had a trainee guy doing my hair the day, and I asked, has MD ever actually said to you, oh man, that's fucking shocking, that you need to set that again, because he's a trainee, and he said a couple of weeks ago he thought he had one, because the guy, he put the mirror behind him, and the guy went, oh my God, I bloody love that. He says, mate, you shouldn't have left that pause had me gone there. Oh my God.
See when it comes to the barbers, boys, right? Do you think there's an etiquette? I've discussed this before, right? Because you go into the barbers and you're basically the next hairdresser that comes along, you're put in the chair, right? Unless I would suspect, Grado, you go to like fucking Taylor Ferguson or some shit like that, do you?
I go to Mr. Blonde, Rafa, I always get him, it's nobody else unless he's on holiday like this week, he's in Ibiza.
When you're in the barbers, right, it's potluck, isn't it? There's good guys and there's bad guys, and then you get called to the chair and you're like, fuck, it's the bad guy. Do you think there's an etiquette that you can't say, can I just wait?
Bad guy brand, man, that's where I've been a few times, bad guy brand.
That's my pal, Jamie.
Aye, I know. He said that a few times, man. I kind of got a bit of wrestling chat with him and all that. But no, John, my sister-in-law has done my hair for years, and occasionally if she's on holiday, I'll go down to Bad Guy Brand down the parade. Okay. But I know what you mean. It's like, what's her name always does it when I go to Bad Guy Brand? What's her name of the blonde hair?
Kaylee.
Kaylee Fades. Aye, Kaylee Fades does mine. We shout out for Kaylee Fades at Bad Guy Brand. Aye, good hairdressers.
So, there you go, advice, and book your haircut and not just go potluck with the barbers. Right, Chris, there's no birthdays, but we've got more wedding chat for the sing song here. And this comes from our patron, Ross Johnston, who reaches out and says, could I request Chris does Still Into You by Paramore in the style of Tina Turner? Me and the missus were supposed to get married on the 2nd of June, but all got screwed due to COVID. Keep up the good work, lads. Are you aware of the song Paramore? Still Into You, Chris?
Am I aware of the song Still Into You?
Yes.
I could fucking play a part in the video, son.
Right, okay, Chris. Tina Turner, doing Still Into You. Take it away.
And count the years on one hand. I need the other one to hold you. Make you feel better. Oh, fuck, I forgot it. I tell you what, I'll give him the chorus, right?
Go to the chorus.
I should be over all the butterflies I'm into you. And baby, even on a worst night, I'm into you.
Beautiful.
And I wonder how we got this far, 'cause I don't really need to wonder at all. After all of this time, I'm still into you. There you go, Ross.
That is a good song. I was wondering what song that was, but that's the one that kind of dated, isn't it? It's a cracker.
Mate, do you know what that reminds me of, man? It reminds me he always did Panto and now the dance version of it, and we were dancing about like fucked it in the dressing room one night. You just bought the big speaker out of John Lewis and we put Still Into You and we were jumping about daft in the dressing room. I don't know if Rangers had one or we were going out. I don't know what it was, but we were
I think George Bowie does a remix. Yeah, it's fucking
that's the one we were dancing about to.
There you go.
Can't remember
George Bowie.
The big plug for George Bowie there. Right, okay. If you want a song from Chris, I'll sign up to the Patreon. That'd be great. Patreon.com/Football Daft, or get in touch with us via Twitter. What's been happening in Scottish football? Well, we talked about it last week. Jack Ross finally appointed as manager of Dundee United. Looking to continue the good work that Tam Courts did there. I don't know, as I say, since returning to the top flight, United's finished 9th and then 4th, and then that's the first time they've been in Europe for a decade. Interestingly, I mean, they didn't score a lot of goals last season and ended up 4th.
No.
Do you think you can better 4th with United?
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say no.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why Tam Courts has done one.
I think he's peaked. I think he peaked.
Yeah, because we suspect Hibs will be stronger next season. Aberdeen will certainly be stronger as well. So, you know, it's a tough ask to beat, to go third. I mean, it's a tough ask, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I think it's... Sorry, mate, on you go.
I see Dundee United, if they get money issues and all that.
No.
Why
Riddles just went straight to Google there, by the way. Just he doesn't believe us. But I think Jack Ross, I think we all agreed he wasn't given the time probably should have had at Hibs, and we're interested to see what kind of brand of football. Because for me, Dundee United last season were a good footballing side.
I think they were one of the kind of teams, if they scored first against you, you were in trouble.
They were well drilled. They were very well drilled.
They were well drilled. I would say they were a very well organised, workman-like team who, really, if you look back, you'd be, if somebody were like that, that's a team that finished 4th, you'd go, really? Because I would say they were a bit, I don't think they were very easy on the eye. They were just very fucking well organised and they defended so well. But they've lost their keeper as well to Celtic, so that's a big blow as well for Jack Ross.
Yeah, Chris Siegrist going to Celtic. What do you make of that?
It's like I say, man, I'm going to be honest, I've seen him playing a good few times and he's never ever stood out as being really good against us or anybody else that I've seen him against, and a few times against Celtic he's actually flung a couple in. But anybody that I've asked that's a Rangers fan says that any time he plays against them he's like fucking Billy the Fish.
He's shit hot. For the last 2 seasons he's always played out his skin, and it's always been that frustrating because sure, what was the game where we get bait, or did we draw at Tannadice last? What happened when we played at Tannadice last year?
He's lost at the start of last season.
First away game of the season we get beat, remember?
I just felt we were battering him near the end of the game, and he was playing out his skin. He was brilliant. You find that quite a lot. A lot of the goalkeepers sometimes are good against Old Firm. Obviously, told you're saying he's not done as well against Celtic, but he's definitely somebody where, because I think even was there no rumours that Man United was something about him as well.
Oh really?
At that point last year.
Wow.
So I think he is a decent goalkeeper. He's a good backup.
End of the road for Bain, do you think, Chris?
Oh, we've got Barkas is away, isn't he? And we've got Hazard should be coming back for his loan, so either Hazard's going to leave or it's going to be Bain, but we need three goalies. And I think
Bain's not going to settle for it. Surely the third goalkeeper's a young goalkeeper. Bain gets on his way, and the third goalkeeper's a young up-and-coming goalkeeper.
Toby Oliviami or something, his name is.
Yeah.
Forgive me if it's a mispronunciation, I apologise, but he comes with a good pedigree. He's the England number one in his age group and stuff like that, so he must be a decent goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can see. I actually would have thought that he would have moved up to second in line. I didn't think we would have signed another goalie unless we were going for one for backup for him.
Yeah.
So
I know you've probably got written down for later on in the sheet, John, about McCrory and McGregor, but that's the kind of same scenario at Rangers.
I was going to ask you. I was going to move on to that, guys. Are you guys happy with McGregor signing a 1-year deal, or would you have been quite happy for him to go out on that Scottish Cup final day?
It surprised me, but to be honest, I thought he was going to be retiring. Maybe I'm not going to sit. I mean, there's a lot of Rangers fans really.
I'm not saying bad about McGregor, man.
Your best pal. Could have been your best pal.
I could never say bad about McGregor, but I think last season even looked maybe he was very uncharacteristic in certain points last season. And maybe even last season we were all beginning to see a legend of the club who's maybe came to a point where you go, right, all players come to a point where they need to retire or whatever. But
is McLaughlin number one then? Is McLaughlin number one?
No, but you don't even need to be critical about McGregor last season to say, look, he's older now. What is he, 40? He's got to be 41 this year.
41,
so without even being critical, you've got to come to a point where you go, right, who's next in line? What's happening here? And
I think last season looked a season too far for him. Never mind signing a contract for next season. I think McLaughlin was a breath of fresh air in the Scottish Cup final.
Do you think he's number one? Jane, he is the number one jersey. Well, he won't get the number one jersey, but he's in sticks. Start next season, first league game.
For me, aye.
Who, McLaughlin?
Aye.
Oh, I mean, just because we've got to, and I was talking about this to Fletcher the other day again. It's like one of the ones where it's like, just you feel there's a more kind of, you're comfortable with McLaughlin at set pieces and corners, because with McGregor, teams know that's his weakness. You know, they drop it in the 6-yard box. It ties up a lot of defenders, and
and McLaughlin's very good with the ball at his feet and all.
Aye. Although he's got potential to maybe kind of, he is confident. He has got potential, but I suppose all the goalies like that, they always end up making an ass at one point with the ball at their feet, don't they? It's only kind of natural. But I definitely feel a lot more comfortable with McLaughlin and goals when there's we've got a corner the last minute of the game, you know.
I mean, you
can't deny McGregor. I mean, even last season, you could say it was a step too far, but he made a couple of amazing saves in that European run there as well that maybe goalkeepers would have saved. So, McCrory, you can understand. He's at an age now. What is he? 24.
I was going to say
he needs to play football.
We're not going to affect saying he's not going to extend his Rangers contract, which runs out next year. So is that?
You just don't want one of these situations where he ends up going to another team and he turns out to be an absolute amazing goalkeeper, and we've let him go, and it's.
Tell me this: did Rangers not have Liam Kelly at one point as well?
That's what I'm saying. That happened with Liam Kelly, because who did Kelly initially go to? Livingston, didn't he?
Livingston,
had a great season at Livingston. Then he went down to QPR, and there was even a point when he played for Livingston where you go, we need to sign him back. Do you know what I mean? As a backup for McGregor, we never done it, and you could have said that maybe we kind of let him go too early. Is he?
I think
it was a couple of years ago. I
think McLaughlin's a better goalie than Kelly.
I would say so.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens there. Aberdeen doing quite a lot of business. Obviously, they sold Calvin Ramsey last week. We talked about that. 4.2 million plus 2.5 million of add-ons. Surprisingly, he's going straight into the first team for pre-season, which and Jurgen Klopp saying he's not going to be sent out on loan. So that'll be interesting to see if he can get a couple of games for Liverpool next season. But they've just signed a North Macedonian striker by the name of Bojan Miovski on a 4-year deal from MTK Budapest. Been capped several times for the national side, 19 goals in 60 games for MTK. So he could be one to watch. And Liam Scales has joined them as well on a season-long loan from Celtic. Chris, I guess that makes way for this Argentinian left-back coming in, Alexandro Bernabeu.
I think it's Bernabia, mate.
Is it Bernabia? Bernabia. Sorry, I'm reading off my screen here. And that eye, there's a bit of that eye looks like an L. There we go.
Do you know, I've as you do when you get linked to a player. YouTube, he looks as if he's decent running with the ball and stuff like that. I don't know if he's going to be brought in to replace Greg Taylor though, because for what I've read and stuff like that online, there's a few folks saying that the video's flatter to deceive a wee bit,
right.
And I think he might be a wee bit of a hothead as well, going by that red card at the weekend. So
is this the one with the heater?
Aye, done the Charlie Mulgrew, Peter Lovencrans or whatever it was. Remember, but I don't know a lot about him, John. Even though I've my extensive knowledge of Argentinian football.
Of course, that's why I came to you on this, Chris. You know,
like I've said before, I trust Ange with the players that he's bringing in, so he knows better than me. So fucking bring it on, man.
Yeah. And reports today, guys, that Morelos, Seville have offered €8 million for him.
Euros.
That's
it's been dismissed, isn't it?
It's been dismissed. But what kind of what kind of money would you start dealing on Morelos considering
we've put ourselves in a very sticky position.
I think he'll sign a new deal.
Well, this is a thing. We've put ourselves in a very, very sticky position. I don't know why we keep doing this. We keep letting players' fucking contracts run down, and we get to a point where they need to go one way or the other, and you kind of get held to ransom then, because a team's not going to come in with as much as what you'd want to get for the player, because he's only got fucking 12 months left in his contract. So he either signs a contract or we need to cash in.
Is he really only 1 year left in his contract? I feel as if Morelos signed a contract like a year ago. That must have been...
it's maybe just been improved terms for him, Grado.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that
no,
what
I mean, like not a contract extension, just improved terms. So I remember there was a point where he signed about 3 contracts within a few months of each other when he first kind of came to Rangers. So I think
there's going to be a few ins and outs. I think Rangers. There's going to be a few players leaving.
I mean, the thing is, at this point, I mean, it's like everyone's obviously clamouring for signings, I guess, at Rangers as well. But do you think that all the players are on holiday at the moment? There's not a lot of business. Even when you look down to English Premiership, there's not a lot of business getting done, is there?
No,
not really.
I mean, is
Manny's away, isn't he?
Well, Manny away to Bayern.
Is Aribo season definitely finished now, aye?
I think he's got off 5 games. He's got a couple of games of 5s left, and then he should be all right, man.
Well, that is...
Oh, hey, but by the way, do you know, we're apparently going to sign a 16-year-old for Millwall. Is it Millwall?
They signed him, Lovis.
Aye, he's 16-year-old.
Signed him, aye. That'll replace kind of Rory Wilson leaving, going to Villa.
To answer your question about Aribo, he's actually playing in the Legends tournament at the Hydro. So.
Right, on to the daft stories, boys. Would you like to hear the age in which hangovers from hell start? Would you like to talk about the fact that only one movie from this century appears in the top 5 films according to IMDb? Or would you like a game of Football Daft fortune based on things parents say no to?
I could tell you the one for this century.
Right, go.
IMDb, The Dark Knight.
Fuck you! I was going to have you get you going with that one.
What about was Fingman on it? Would you call it that one with the all blue?
Avatar. That was last century.
No, that wasn't in it.
No,
Avatar's.
Wasn't it? You're right, Grado. You're right.
No, Avatar's not even in the top 10, I'd say.
Aye, because although it made a lot of money, it's not actually that great a fucking film.
No. I would go as far to say it's not even in the fucking top.
Right, I tell you what. Why don't we have a game of football fucking focus or whatever you call it, football fortunes, and we'll try and name a top 5.
Right, talk about. Don't look at the.
I could tell you right now.
I have seen one.
I could tell you because I'm on IMDb all the fucking time. I could tell you.
Number 1 is Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank. Number 2 is The Godfather.
He's looking.
No,
look, he's I'm
not fucking looking in. I'm not looking in. I'm on IMDb all the time. Shawshank, The Godfather. It'd be The Dark Knight. And then it would be 12 Angry Men, and there's another one.
Godfather Part 2.
Godfather Part 2.
Stephen's nailed it. Stephen's
well played, mate.
Camden.
Right, okay then. Well, let's
get pure thing, mate.
But unfortunately, Stevie, it wasn't your turn.
Right. Honestly, see, I'm on holiday, man, and it was the fucking. Now you have the mad games at night. when the kids thing's all done and then they have like a mad quiz thing. See, when it comes to movies and music, Nick, I was like, I need to get away from you, man. Like, I'm pure fucking shouting at things.
That's like me with the wrestling entrance theme song game.
It's just like that, Grado. It's just like that. Right, okay then. Well, let's talk about hangovers then. Apparently, a survey is saying that the bad hangovers start when you're 34. That's when the really bad hangovers start. That's when the 2 day.
I agree with that.
I just turned 34 last week.
I think in my 20s, not that late 20s, early 30s, it was never as bad as what it is now.
It's not so much. See, no, I don't think it's so much the waking up with a CD. It's waking up and feeling fucking depressed.
Aye,
the doom.
I hate that.
Yeah. The Richard.
By the way, I tell you what, you could put your mobile phone in another room, sit in a room with a case of beers, nothing else on about you. Sit, tan the case of beers, wake up the next morning and be like, what did I do last night?
Aye.
And there's no, it doesn't matter. It's a depressant. Alcohol's a fucking depressant, that's the thing. So, yeah,
I kind of wake up, right, sometimes if I've been out in a clan or that and wake up and I've got the pure heavy fear. But see, when I've got to feel like Grado saying that, I get depressed and I start turning out in a clan going, I'm sorry but I put you through in my 20s now. Look, babe, I'm sorry but I put you through, man. Do you know how much I love you, man? Thanks for giving me my children.
What's the worst hangover you ever had, though, boys? Can you remember that one hangover that just went on for an eternity?
Right, I'll tell you, I've got a story here. Right?
Go.
It was the first time I ever went out drinking, right? And I decided I would drink cider and blackcurrant because it didn't taste like booze.
Oh.
Right, so I was sat down at a table. And it was a kitty, so people were getting up and getting rounds in. Now, bear in mind, this is my first time ever drinking. I drank 10 pints of cider and blackcurrant. Right? God. Now, the nightclub that I was in had stairs like the Great Wall of China, right? And I just walked over, I spewed on my mate, and I went, right, it's time for me to go home, kind of thing. Staggered to the door, took a look at the stairs and turned into the bouncer and be like, I'm not getting down there. The bouncer had to carry me down the stairs. Right? Right? So I've got out of the pub, walked out of the nightclub, the fresh air's hit me and I've collapsed, right? So a taxi stops and it's a lassie that I went to school with and our fella. I've got out, picked me up, bear in mind I'm covered in sick, right? Picked me up. Put me into the back of the taxi. I've managed to somehow, in my fucking drunken stupor, tell them where I've lived, right? So the boyfriend has carried me up to my front door like fucking Sleeping Beauty. You know what I mean? Walked up to my front door, chapped the door. My boss answered the door. He's went, is this your son? Right? She's went, aye, it's my son. Right? So they've took me in. My mum's stripped me off completely. She says I was sick in my shoes. Inside. Right? My mum's put me into the bath and washed me. Right? Bearing in mind I'm fucking 16 at the time. Right? My mum's put me into the bath and washed me. Right? Put me to bed. She says she knocked fuck out me. I don't remember it. Right? It's the one and only time she said about me. She says she was at fear that I was fucking going to die, basically. My dad had to sit up with me all night, right? And he says every half an hour or something I was spewing and he was having to change the fucking bed sheets, right? Every half an hour.
Aye, because he'd be scared you're going to choke and you're fucking sick.
Exactly, Stevie. Do you know, this was in the Friday night leading into the Saturday, right? I never ate anything until the Tuesday afternoon. That's how bad the hangover was. I went into school and I got a standing ovation when I walked into the assembly hall. Right? And honest to God, I went into the house on the Tuesday and I just sat down and my mum went, are you ready to have something to eat yet? I went like, aye, want to make me some toast and beans? And that's what I had, toast and beans. I felt like I was a fucking pariah for so long after that, man.
See the way you're saying your mum attacked you? Mine's just the other way about, man. I went,
You attacked my mum?
I was fucking think I was smart. I'd been watching loads of wrestling interviews and all that, talking about drinking. This was about 13 years ago, and I downed a bottle of Glen's 70cl. And my pals had taken up my road. Jesus! Canned it, and then I fucking hit my mother in the head with a bottle of white wine, and I woke up. This was a Sunday, and I woke up on a Tuesday, and I was put on the housing list. They were wanting me out. I got put on the council housing list because it was.
You hurt your mum with a book.
You didn't smash, but I picked up and hurt her head. Aye.
They were getting the fucking fear.
That's worse if it didn't smash. That'd have been fucking sore.
Aye, it wasn't a pure. It was just a.
It was just a wee dink.
It was just a wee dink. There was another one on fucking Tenerife, man. I was woke up in the morning, I'd been all night, I was in Tenerife and I was whiting everywhere, couldn't stop, blah, 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 blah. And I'm lying, absolutely dying. And the next minute, I'm on holiday with my girlfriend at this point, and the door goes, and I'm lying, fucking feeling to death. And it's my wee niece with my dad that have came on holiday to surprise me on Facebook Live, pure surprise!
Fuck me, man!
What was that? Get off! Was you staying here? He's like, what the fuck? They're going, come on, get up, come on, we're getting down the pool, we're going to this. I was like, fuck off, man.
Mate, see in holiday, right? That feeling of being rough on holiday, right? That's the worst for me.
It's roasting and all that.
The first time I went to a boys' holiday, right? Me and my mate Dale, right? Honestly, right? We're staying in this, all we done in this holiday, the fucking cunts in the hotel called us like Kevin and Perry, because we were a pair of losers, right? We went away with vests and all that. Now, this was like the fucking early noughties, right? Fucking arms like fucking sparrows, man, like fucking vests on, I think, or something, right? Get steaming in this Rangers pub all day, every day. Went back, me and him fell out, like you're saying, hot each other with bottles, not arguing, fighting. He went to his bed. I was out in the fucking balcony with music on, but it was a man security guard in the hotel, right? This big, it was in Malia, so this big Greek cunt, it was massive, right? And he's shouting up, right? Turn down. I'm like, no. He's like, turn down. And I'm like, no, this guy's obviously going, this guy's just a wee dick, right? And he's just walking dead slow, right? And my mate Dale is in the fucking room, he's not talking to me. And I'm smoking fags and listening to music. He literally walks up the stairs, gets to the tap, and I'm looking at him, and I'm no budging. And he just grabs me and goes, fuck you, right? Right? My mate Dale now the sliding doors, right? And I think my mate Dale's not opening it. He's just opened the curtains, but he's still got the door shut going, you're nothing but a big bully! You're just a big bully! So in Greece, you can't flush toilet roll to the toilet, right? So I've woke up the next morning, right? Feared out my box, my face is fucking agony, right? Because this cunt's ladled me, right? I've got the fear, man. I'm going, I feel horrible, man. And I feel really bad. And I get in, man. And I'm trying to wait it, and I can't wait it. Dale hasn't fucking put the toilet roll in the bags. There's just shitey toilet roll sitting next to him, man. I'm going, fucking faces on it. My face is louting. I'm seeing his shite on the toilet roll, man.
Oh, no.
The worst, man.
Just out of interest, Stephen, was this when you were in your 20s and had to apologise to Nicola?
Aye. It was, mate. This was my early 20s, man, so I had a lot of apologising today, man.
Sorry, Nicola, sorry.
Every so often he phones Dale up, like, Dale, I'm sorry about that holiday. I apologise, man.
Brilliant.
I'm a big bully.
Dale's feel shouting, you big fucking bully.
At least they put you back on good terms, eh?
Mate, he didn't come out the fucking hotel room until the big fella was at the other side of the hotel complex, man. He's fucking scared to come out and get me.
Brilliant. If you've got any stories of your lads' holidays, we'd love to hear them. Get involved at Football Daft Pod on Twitter. Right, this week, Football Daft Focus could go one of two ways. We could be speaking to my brother David, who has just got the South Stand at Falkirk renamed after Ken McAllister. We're waiting to find out. Or it could go another way. We're hoping to speak to the Twitcher who saved Grado's penalty, who we had a bit of beef with last week, and he's absolutely bailing about this. So I really hope we can get this guy on. So hopefully we'll be speaking to him on Football Daft Focus.
Why is it so hard to get?
On the big question, we're talking strips, but we're not talking your club strips. We're talking about other club strips that you think are pretty decent. We'll be doing that. Grado's got 3 riddles. We'll talk moments of the week, and we're going right across the pond for another edition of Soccer Daft to find out how our MLS sides are getting on.
Right, who wants to drink free beer and help the environment? Of course, everybody wants to do their bit. Well, here's the deal. Simply cover just $5.95 for postage, and Beer 52 is going to send you 10 free beers, and by claiming this offer, you're going to be supporting some awesome environmental charities. Go to beer52.com/daft. You can claim your pack of 10 free beers. I've got 10 of them in my fridge earlier, chilling away for me at the weekend, and every month Beer 52 sends their members a different case. It's got specially created craft beer, and this month they're doing a wee sort of Restore Our Earth. It's a kind of case focused on environmental conservation. They've partnered up with the Garden Brewery, who are from Croatia, and also team up with 10 innovative breweries for 10 different countries, and are launching 10 exclusive collaboration beers. Also included in every case is the ever insightful Ferment magazine and a couple of tasty wee snacks shoved in it as well. And even after all of that, and if you're still unsatisfied, you can simply just pause, or you can cancel your subscription at any time. The Restore Our Earth dreams to draw your attention to some incredible organisations working to tackle the climate crisis and conserve essential ecosystems. How does that sound, guys? Between them, Beer 52 and the Garden Brewery, they've already contributed a whopping £20,000 to the cause with the help of Tithe, which is the environmental charity, and they're doing such amazing work over there at Tithe, and they're trying to advocate and provide a platform for organisations doing the most to save our planet. How does that sound, guys?
Beer52.com/daft. Lots of free beer. Right, it's time for Football Daft Focus, and it's time to get a guy on who's been the talk of the podcast over the last couple of weeks after he saved a penalty from Grado in a charity game in Aberdeen. Please welcome to the podcast. You'll know him from Twitch. It's Jose Santana. How you doing, Jose?
Good, thank you. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
Mate, honestly, man, you actually made my week last week, man, because you got Grado biting on Twitter. It was fucking brilliant, man.
I didn't think he was going to bite. I know it was obviously a big Grado. He didn't even follow me for it, mate. He followed me back after it. I was like, wow.
See, before we go in, mate, can I just congratulate you on what a cracking save that was?
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
By the way, look down to your bottom left. That was tremendous. What a
cheers,
save.
boys. Cheers, boys. Cheers.
Grado, do you want to bring in?
Especially when Grado was playing for his heroes, Aberdeen, you know what I mean?
Right, so obviously this has all come about because you're playing the charity match. Grado on this podcast, Jose, went on and said he hit it straight down the middle. Obviously, we've seen the footage which you put on your Twitch stream, and it does look like you made a decent save there. What would you like to say to Grado about this?
No, I mean, hey, it was a decent penalty for Grado, I thought. I mean, I thought he was putting himself down, saying he put it down the middle. But hey, if he wants to do that, he can do it. I thought it was a decent penalty. I mean, hey, he was right behind 2 Scotland women's players as well, and they had good penalties. So I don't know. I think Grado's done himself dirty by saying it's down the middle as such, you know.
Grado, do you know how he sounds like Adrian when he's saying hi? Adrian always used to say that, mind. Brilliant.
I love how all through that, but Grado's just sitting last.
Grado's still giving a fuck, mate.
By the way, he's fucking raging at you, Jose, and he wants to fight in a celebrity boxing match.
Oh, are you actually serious, eh?
No.
Grado, you've been very quiet here. What would you like to say here?
It just... Right.
I mean, we were accusing last week,
I'm sure it was down the middle, right? I felt as if it was down the middle, right?
Listening.
But I just felt that didn't need to be highlighted, because then I ended up getting pelters off Bo because he thinks that I Grado fire everything up, and Toal as well. They all think I exaggerate my stories, and it didn't do any help for that. That pissed me off. And then I get fucking the fall at Aberdeen, messaging me on Twitter and giving me grief, and I was just sitting in my living room couch and I just had my lunch and I was fucking raging, and I never usually bite, but I was biting. And what was bad about it was that I didn't want Bob to see it, because I knew if Bob saw it, it would end up on this podcast, and everything that I didn't want to happen has happened. And I thought, John's going to end up getting this boy on, he's going to make a mountain out of a molehill, whatever you say. And that's exactly what's happened. I should have just fucking kept my mouth shut. I shouldn't even have went up. I should have even up, Graham. What?
Grado, what did he say to you? What did he say to you before you went up?
He's loving all this. He's loving all this.
What did he say to you? What was the words before you went up? Well,
here's the deal. It was
I was
the fourth. The story was, because I never had the boys to come on until the last 5 minutes. I actually came on and I thought I'd done pretty good.
Aye, you done fairly well there, aye.
And then I just thought, I'm not coming up all this way for me not to do anything at all. So there was one penalty to go for it to win. It was the fourth penalty. I was to be fifth, and I swapped it about with the person that was fourth. So I was to step up, and if I scored it, I was to win. And I went up and I fucking hit it straight down the middle. And
do you know the best part of it? Grado, the best part of it was when you were walking down, I remember, because you had your big swagger and all that, and I says to you, which side you going? I said, which side you going? And then you said something back to us. I'm saving this. And you went, I will see about that then.
No, do you know what I said? No, do you know what I said? I remember, do you know what I said? I said something along the lines of, can you let this in? And you went, no, fucking no chance. That's what happened.
It was.
No, right.
Well, anyway, did you listen to last week's podcast? Because that guy up there, top left, I was sticking up for you. He goes, you don't mess with TikToks.
Aye, some cunt said I live in my fucking Moz basement.
What
house in Scotland? What's the fucking phone here? What house in Scotland has a fucking basement?
It's a valid point.
That must have been our MLS section of the show.
John, look at you sitting up there going, valid point.
Just to clear up things, so do you still live with your ma?
No, I don't know. I've got my own house.
Right, okay, and you're not a virgin, no?
Hey, the guy's
I'm just checking.
John, the guy's getting like $1 million followers on TikTok. He earns more than all of us put the fucking
John, you feel shy yourself.
You've shot yourself last week. You were going,
I'm not. Listen, I made accusations last week. He's now proved that he doesn't live in his ma's house and he's not a virgin. So there you go.
You might ask him the same question.
No, I'll stand. I'm not going to start any shite here, you know what I mean?
I'm interested. How did you get onto the whole twitching thing, Jose? How did it all kind of start off?
So I came back from America, basically. I was over there doing a football scholarship, and I hadn't graduated or done my degree or whatever, so I just went, fuck it, do you know what I mean? I may as well go on Twitch and see if it'll do anything for me, because there was a lot of people on Twitch because it was during COVID.
Aye.
So a lot of people were on that, and I just went, aye, fuck it, I may as well try and jump on that, see if I can do anything with it. I didn't know as well that Big Grado was on Twitch. Do you know what Grado told me after the game? Grado told me he's got a whole... What was it, Grado? You said... He gave me a good story. He said,
here it is, Captain Grado.
I've got this whole 800
flight
simulator setup. I'm like, what? He's like, I've got this plane set up.
He does. He's not lying.
2060 something nutty like that, man. I was like, aye, decent.
But did he tell you at the same time, mate, I'm never off it.
No, he didn't tell me that, to be fair.
Here's the deal, Jose. He fucking spent about $2,000 on it, right? And fucking played it twice and put it into the loft.
Aye, but the reason why I didn't like doing it, and I've told you, and I think I told you who's last week, is because I did buy all the gear, right, and I put on a wee pilot hat and I dressed up as a pilot, right, and I was started to live stream and I was enjoying myself, but I was watching the folk that was watching, and it was like folk in my street, and it was pure put me off. It was like my buds pals men, do you know what I mean? Some of them I don't really know that well, and they were sitting watching me, and I was like going, get off, this is for, do you know what I mean? It was getting me
I can pure imagine that, like, finishing, going, Larry, I'm going to take a wee break now, looking out your front window, cunt 2 doors of hangman, going out for a flag while you're after.
Sitting there down the street like, Grado.
Sending you a DM, when you get back home, so I need to nip out your ass, I don't know.
And the guy 2 doors down, like, I get back in there, the fucking plane will crash.
So you mentioned there you played over America. Have you played to a level with football, Jose?
Well, I was playing over in the NCAA in America, if that means anything to you. It was a decent level, but at the same time, I get kicked off my team 2 years in a row for being a wee arsehole. So there's a long story behind that. I'll leave that for another time. But I was playing decent over there. I play amateurs here.
Who'd you play for?
I play for a team called Symington Tinto. It's Dougie Emery's dad's team. He takes it. I was training with Lanark United before, but that was when COVID shut everything down. It was mental because COVID shut everything down, but yet, what was it? Hull were playing on, or Hull were training in Hearts facilities when Hearts couldn't even play. So, that was back then, but I've just been playing amateur since and just trying to get myself.
Who do you support, Jose?
I'm on Ackies, Grado.
Oh, you right. So what was it? So did you just get asked up because of the Twitch thing and all that? The big kind of, right? See, I was thinking it was an Aberdeen thing.
No, mate, I'm not for Aberdeen, no.
Right. You're a good goalkeeper, but...
Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Well, you leave it at part, right?
Is if only good goalies come to Aberdeen.
I'm surprised about it, right? Two things he's left out, right? And I don't know if Grado maybe didn't clock it or whatever. I've nearly fucking brain damaged some Aberdeen striker with a collision at the end of the game, and I've also conceded a 35-yard screamer for Phil Maguire in the first 5 minutes, and he said nothing about either of it.
To be honest with you, mate, I just like talking about myself. But see that clash, it was, you took the lassie out, didn't you?
I was terrified. Well,
it was a lassie.
Aye, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But she's playing right back and their left wingers coming in. And obviously their left wingers try to challenge for the header, try to challenge me as I come up for it. And as he sort of went up to challenge, he went, I'm not going in for that. Gave her a wee nudge. I've came up. She's actually won the ball as well. Fair enough to her. She's won the ball. And as she's won the ball, because she's got a wee nudge, a feed went straight into my right shoulder. And the noise it made, man. And do you know what the worst part it was? Right, so obviously physio comes in. She's like talking and all that. Great. I was like, brilliant. But then the ref goes, right, we're just going to end it here. So the worst thing that could possibly happen, she's taking out the game. The ref's went, right, we're going to call it here. And it just looks so bad. I'm just sitting there like, ref, you fucking gave me the worst image to go away with here, man. For fuck's sake, man.
And then Grado went, don't you worry, son. I'll give you a good memory of this game.
Was it the picture, man?
Well, no, mate, it was bad, man. It was bad. But no, she was sound. I spoke to her after the game and all that, and she was quality about it. She was like, aye, not harms.
Was she responsive when you were talking to her?
Aye, no, she was talking. She was like, what was it? No. So the physio, I didn't speak to her, mate. She was fucking on the ground when I was fucking there. But the physio came up and she was like, where are you? Cove. And then she was like, what day is it today? And she was like talking after that. I was like, oh, thank fuck, because the collision. The noise it, Grado. I don't even know if you heard the noise it, but the noise it.
Sickening fud.
Aye.
Tell me this, man, but did it make you feel like a big man?
No, mate, because I'm not that guy.
I'm only kidding on.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, mate. That's no me.
Now I know why you never tell us why you get kicked off your American teams.
So what games do you stream? Where can we get you? All that
so just twitch.tv/Jose Santana. Most of the social media's just Jose Santana, mate. I use Amsterdam GTA, the role play kind of stuff like that. So
brilliant.
See if I get the cockpit set back up, the throttle at the loft and all that, would you be able to raid me so that I can get follows and all that?
Aye, mate, Devil's I'll raid you and then you can get my fucking email there.
What does that mean? What does raid mean?
He's got to send cunts here to him. That's basically that.
Right.
Aye.
Right.
I'm allowed to swear it now. I'm allowed to swear it.
Of course you are.
You can say whatever the fuck you want in this country.
Decent, mate, decent.
Fucking phoning Grado, man. What you up tonight? Oh, no, man. Jose's raiding me, man.
Getting the gear out the loft.
I'm twitching like fucking nights. I'm getting raided off Jose.
The red panties are out the night.
See, the funny thing is, getting the gear out the loft just to mean something different to Grado.
Right, Jose, thanks so much for coming on Football Daft. Thank you very much for clearing up. Cheers, first of all, the penalty, the fact that you're not a virgin and you don't live with your mom. So thanks for that.
Appreciate you giving me the chance to clear that up, boys, and have a good rest of your podcast.
Right.
Right?
You're the
best, mate.
Football Daft's big question.
It's that time of year when we all get a glance at our team's news strip. Some are better than others, but we'll all go out and buy it regardless. Maybe not so much the Falkirk strip this season for me, but we'll get into that bit later.
Crunchy carrots.
However, is there a part of you that glances at an opposition side strip and think, oh, that's all right, that I wouldn't mind that one? Well, that's the question this week. What other Scottish club strip is the best out with your own team? What one have you kind of looked at and went,
aye.
Do you know, I think it's quite hard.
Doesn't it be this season?
Doesn't have to be this season, can be any era, any decade.
I've got one actually.
Well, so I think it's hard nowadays. It's probably going to have to be like an old 90s one, because I feel as if all the strips now, it's all that Joma. You know what I mean? It's all, there's never really any, I don't think there's
no originality, Grado.
No,
it's all like, it's like, rip it. So,
and he's ever had a Scottish tap for our team, and he's ever lit for
Campbell Slang Rangers.
I had a heart.
Partick Thistle.
Have you?
Yeah.
Canvas Lang Rangers, the one they had out last season was a fucking absolute screamer. That's a junior team. That's about it. I'm going to be honest, guys. See this week's big question. I'm going to say no.
I've
never
must,
really
Stephen, there must be one team.
No another Scottish team where I go, nah, I don't.
No, but you've got to look at the strip from a strip point of view, because I know you're a strip man, and you must go, because you must go, that's a decent strip, that.
Nah.
No
in Scotland. No in Scotland, I don't. Because I'm not allowed to say AC Milan, Real Madrid or Boca Juniors, because it's only Scotland. But in Scotland, no. I think your team's strip this season, if it didn't say crunchy carrots on it, it's a fucking nice, smart looking top.
That is
yeah, to be fair, I'll be honest here. Like Grado's saying, when you look back to the 90s, Falkirk always did have a nice tap in the 90s, and that. I would say
they did. They had one, the one that I seem to remember was like navy, and there's quite a lot going on, and kind of like fuzzy.
Different blue, different patch of blue. That's my all-time favourite Falkirk, I have to say. Do you know what I've always quite liked? Dundee United's top. I've always quite liked Dundee United's top. I always think they do a decent kit. I like the Tangerine.
The one they had maybe in the 90s, but it was like
Belhaven one, Grado.
What one?
The one with Belhaven, the Belhaven sponsor. They were sponsored for a couple of years with Belhaven.
The one he's talking about is the one with Rover on the front.
And it's black with the orange pinstripes. I think I like that.
My favourite one's probably North Sound Radio Aberdeen strip.
That is a cracker.
It was red and it had like the kind of navy blue kind of. It looked like slashes or something.
Do you remember that one, Grado? You're a big dog.
How do you know what? I'm even going to tell you.
Oh, come on, Grado. You had that.
I can't tell you.
Is this going to continue the fucking theme? Did you?
You had an Aberdeen goalie tap, didn't you, Grado?
Have I told you that before?
I fucking knew it, man. I knew it.
Oh, wow.
I bet you your granny bought you or something.
It was my granny that bought me. It was Sports Division in Irvine, and the Living Design goalie tap. Living Design goalie tap was down to £3. And I was a mega goalie, and I was into goalies, and I was like, fuck it, I'm buying that. I was only about fucking 80, 99.
Neil Selder's kind of era then, Grado, was it?
That was a bit after Phil Selder's, if I'm being honest. It was more, what was his name?
Jim Leighton.
Aye, Jim Leighton, he kind of time.
Michael
Priest.
Michael Watt.
Did you wear it much, Graham?
I wore it up to 7 a size. I was a wee guy with my goalie trousers and the white socks. I can't lie, I did wear it.
King a bit like fucking Dimitri Karin.
This team has grown arms and legs. I was only joking.
Has. Right, listen, here's the punters coming in. Grant says Livy 2021, which is just a lovely, classy looking top. And Clyde Bank with the wet sponsor. PS, any info on a second hand one? Hand me down. Let me know.
Any info on a second hand one, let me know.
See, but honestly, I'm surprised I've not seen more like folk getting that rep. I bet you DH Gate would be able to do that.
Clyde Bank, wet top.
There's a guy on Facebook, but that does all the old Scottish taps. Don't get me wrong, it's like you pay full price for them.
That's actually quite a nice tap, to be honest.
Do you not remember that tap?
Quite nice. It's just that.
Remember the away one? It was purple. It was the same as that, but it was purple.
That's right. Yeah.
Alan has got in touch. He says, I always remember Morton having a tartan kit. Yes, mid-90s, which caught my eyes. That the one Brian Reid played for them, didn't he? And he signed them to Morton.
Yeah.
And that was a kind of tartan tap. I remember that one.
I remember it as well. Ross says, apart from the colour scheme, I quite like the Hibs new top with the silhouette of the stadium in the background.
I think that's quite smart. I think the Hibs top with the Easter Road in the background looks quite.
There you go, Grado. It's a Joma number.
Aye,
and it's actually different.
Do you know what? It's actually very reminiscent of the Adidas
Man United one. Remember the Man United Umbro one with Old Trafford in the background?
Was it Newcastle United?
Belter, man, that was a belter, was it?
I think we not. I don't know if you sure. I'm sure that was Adidas and it was Newcastle.
It was definitely Man United, the one I'm talking about, mate.
Right, no, I'm going to hold you that. I can't find it now because, mate, I know my goalie taps.
Oh no, it's not a goalie top, Grado.
It's not a goalie tap.
Oh, all right. Sorry, I thought you were talking about all. But do you remember what I'm talking about?
I know exactly the one you're talking about, Grado. The yellow goalie top. It was Sumnicek wore it.
Yep. And Rangers had one as well with Ibrox at the front of it. It was orange and with black shoulders.
There's a fucking surprise.
Right, I'll pick up this one then. Mick 95-96 Air United, made by the Air Collection, very 90s, and Ian has What Everyone Wants as the sponsor. There's a
What everyone wants!
What everyone see, you take your money,
take your price!
I didn't realise Air was sponsored by What Everyone Wants. There you go.
What everyone wants!
And Mick won winning a penalty kick shootout at the opening of Safeway in Ayr in 1996, which is out of Morrison's.
Boys, honestly, we're talking about What Everyone Wants, Sports Division, fucking Safeway. I'm just waiting to go to bed tonight and hear London's Burning on in the background, man. It's giving me the fucking fear, honestly.
The soldier theme tune.
Heartbeat. I'm going to go down the stair and there's a fucking a tin of soup been put out on the fucking table and fucking Greengrass is talking in the background and Heartbeat. Honestly, man. Then I need to get a bath.
Oh no, there's songs of praise on. Fuck.
But mate, that's when telly was brilliant. Do you know what I mean? See, now you kind of. They didn't even watch these, apart from Love Island, which I'll give you as the best thing.
How good is Love Island now?
What do you think, right? What do you think is this? Remember, like when we were younger, you would hear the Heartbeat theme song and you'd get the fear for school the next day.
Aye. Howard's right for us.
Sorry, I broke up there, Toal. Ask me that again. Say that again.
I says, like, when we were younger, you would hear Heartbeat's theme song and that would give you the fear for school the next day.
Oh, you know,
what TV show do you think it is the now? That give the Waynes the fear for school the next day.
Oh, it'll be the results of Britain's Got Talent. That's always on our X Factor, isn't it?
Aye.
That's what it'll be now. JC Sebo says new Motherwell home kit and the new Hibs home kit are pretty smart, apart from the core of the Hibs ones, obviously. I'm guessing JC Sebo is a Rangers supporter. But ain't this, that's for... Oh, here we go. But ain't this, that's for sure. Nice tap, going for the PSG look. That sponsor though, oh my fucking God, what the fuck. Talking about this year's Falkirk top, which is a good looking top.
It is a fucking rip-off for the PSG top, really, man. Apart from the crunchy carrots. It's a belter. It's nice.
Got the crunchy carrots. If you've not seen Falkirk's new sponsor, go and check it out. It doesn't look like a carrot. I think it looks like a slug.
I think it does look
like a butt plug, let's be honest.
Aye, or a
no,
shark.
mate, it does look like the shoes you put on the group chat. The fucking Adidas fucking. It looks like
yeah, it does. What
was that again? Was that a Gucci shoe?
Gucci Adidas shoes.
That's what that looks like.
Yeah. So we're going
Pink Flamingo's got in touch. No, this actually was a classic.
That's a tidy t-shirt.
This Hearts away top was a classic, and it just oozes Jim Jeffries and Gary Locke, doesn't it, man?
It's strange for Hearts to have. Well, it's light blue. It's the stripes with the light blue and the dark blue going down it. But Hearts always had blue as a kind of away colour.
I think they have. They know.
Yeah, last season they had a replica of that kit. Their away kit. So they did that. They done a copy of that one. But that Strongbow's sponsor, that's iconic as well, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's like fucking just Scottish football right there. And it's seen that Strongbow across that Hearts tap.
Yeah. It's like that. The way I feel like that when I see that North Sound logo and all. So when Aberdeen taps, you get that sort of feeling, don't you?
It's the one against maybe Aberdeen is
18 Mays with Kelly.
18 Mays.
Aye.
18 Mays, aye, of course.
And fucking McCoon's lager, but for me all the time.
C.R. Smith with Celtic, man.
C.R. Smith, aye.
It's mad. That's a good question for next time, maybe. What's your favourite club sponsor?
I wonder in about fucking 30 years' time, man, if somebody will go, that was football back in the day, crunchy carrots. that was Scottish football.
Kerry's coming in with Stenny away top from a couple of seasons back, white with a claret and amber sash. Grado and Stevie might like it as well. It is a cracking top. I remember seeing that. Stenny's top actually last season, and they've continued it this season as well as a belter as well. I have to say
that's your second team, isn't it, John? If you're being honest with yourself,
I've got a wee sort. Well, they're just the closest team to me. I'm 10 minutes away from the ground, so now again I'll wander down to the Warriors.
Are they not a better team than the Falcon now?
Well, they're getting that way. We'll continue.
P-Mac-B says Partick Thistle away, 2012-13, beautiful strip.
I had that, by the way, and I'm no joking, I had that, because that's when Ricky played for Partick Thistle.
It's quite a nice strip.
And that is a friend of the show modelling it there, is it no?
Oh, wait, is that there? No, that's not. I never had that.
It's Archibald, isn't it?
That's Archibald, isn't it? We had them on the show, yeah.
Yep.
Ian, he says, an absolute classic, the Green of Morton 95-96. This jersey deserved promotion that year, and it's a quite a lovely tap. Buchanan Toffees.
It's a nice tap. Is that Lecoq Sportif?
Lecoq Sportif, yeah. We used to do Falkirk strips all the time. Lecoq
Coventry and Kilmarnock and all, didn't they?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Anyway, Lecoq Sportif never changed their fucking... Their design. Coventry blue and white stripes, Morton blue and white stripes, Kilmarnock blue and white stripes.
One top fits all.
One trick ponies.
Absolutely.
Sportif.
I remember us talking about this top before, the Loch Ness FC top. Now we're talking about, how we've got silhouettes of stadiums on tops. This has got a silhouette of Loch Ness.
That's going to be one of the most fucking interesting football tops I've seen in my life, man.
Amazing. Loch Ness Monster on the football top. Love it.
Loch Ness FC? Loch Ness?
Loch Ness FC, and it's got like fucking ZN Sport, and I quite like the style of the tap, but then you've got the Loch Ness, then you've got Inverness Flooring as a sponsor. That is, honestly, on the back of it, there better be just like Iron Brew. Do you know what I mean? Just on the back of it as well. It's so Scottish, man. It's a fucking, I like it.
That's a nice tap, to be fair. Their badge is cool and all. What their badges get Nessie at the top of it as well.
Brilliant. Finishing us off today on the big question, Martin says, the one from Mean Machine. We're going to rule that out though, because it's not a Scottish team.
Boo.
And that was this week's big question.
It's time for Soccer Daft.
Now, as we're devoid of football over the next few weeks, we're turning Football Daft Soccer Daft. We've all decided to follow an MLS team. I'm going for New York City. Chris is going for Austin FC. Stephen has LAFC. And Grado's went for Orlando City. And that means we've got to bring on the American accents, guys.
Hey, man. What's going on?
Hey, guys. How's it going, guys? How's your week been?
Settled.
Yeah, fine. Mine's has been fine. I'm going to have to change mine because there's been reaction to the accents. And mine's has been slated pretty much. Apparently, yous are all fine because obviously yous are all actors, right? But I'm obviously lagging behind here, so I'm going to have to change mine. So I'm going to try and change it to a New York one because everyone was saying that I sounded Canadian last week. So
why don't you do like a southern accent, like, "Hi there, man, we got to go and talk about the soccer tonight."
Okay,
like fucking Peter Mullen and.
I'm going to go channel Razor Ramon. Hey yo. I almost crashed the car yesterday morning.
Puerto Rican, was it no?
Aye, he's Cuban, is he not?
Cuban, aye.
guys, God rest his soul, man.
Right, God rest his soul. Right, here we go. Get in the character. Here we go. Hey, yo. Almost crashed the car yesterday morning listening to you lads do American accents. Absolutely outstanding content. Well done. That's what comes from Andrew there. Tilco said, I've listened to that segment 3 times and still not got a clue what they're on about. I felt like I wanted to buy whatever they're trying to sell me. Also, this one time at Bandcamp also springs to mind. As Steven says, Soccer Daft is the podcast we didn't know we needed. Just Just sack the Scottish twang off and do the full thing in American accents. Go
Stevie,
defense.
thanks so much, Stevie. Thanks so much.
Yeah, Ryan says the whole American accent thing, that just sounded like a complete acid trip. And finally, Kaiser Soze says the American accents, pure cringe.
What does that mean, bro?
I don't know.
Yeah, what's that mean? It's like Kaiser Soze.
Come on, bro.
That was like a movie in the early 90s, yeah.
I don't understand this, brother. That must be some type of Scottish pattern that guy's hitting out with.
Yeah. So let's head to Orlando first off. And our friend Graham over there. Graham, how are the Orlando doing?
Yeah, well, we went 4 games on the trot without a win, but we managed to secure the victory. We got a good game going on with Houston. We won 2-1. We got two goals from Urk and Kara, who scored double trouble, baby. Double trouble, 2 goals. A little bit disappointed. One criticism is the boss took off Kara before he could
the boss took
him off, man. He took him off before he could get his hat trick, bro. Before he could get his menage a trois. But apart from that, we're looking good. 4 games, but we finally got a win. We got to watch out for Alexandre Plateau, who we signed from Milan, red and black. He's getting sniffed about from some Premier League teams. You got to take the money and run. He's not settling over here. He's not settling into the team. I listened to a podcast. He said he really ain't enjoying his stay in the south of Florida. So we gotta take the money and run.
Nice, Grado. Yeah, nice one. Let's go to Austin now. Chris, how are the Austin getting on? How are the Verde and Black getting on, dude?
Well, you know something, brothers. Austin made an amazing attempt this week. You know, despite us going down to 10 men because of the felony by De Pereira, 1 minute before the halftime interval, then we went out there in the second half, and the ball falls to Maximiliano already. 67 minutes on the clock. He's in the penalty zone, and he strikes one straight into the top corner of the net. The goalkeeper couldn't get near it. You wouldn't have saved it with 2 goalkeepers, man. So Austin back on the winning track.
Nice, Chris. Nice. And they're sitting 3rd in the Western Conference at the moment, looking good for the Austin. Steve. Purdy.
Hey guys.
Pretty good.
Okay, man. We're still top of the league. You know, we went to a very difficult place. The Sounders are they're very strong in their home turf. You know, they're very hard to break down. So we went there. We got a draw. You know, we got a draw. So we're still top, but there's a little bit of unsettledness in the camp. Carlos Vela says he wants to leave, maybe, so he's open to leaving. But you know, we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We're still top. Go LA, yeah.
Go LA. Indeed, Carlos Vela making his 100th MLS regular season appearance as well. What a guy!
There's a lot of uncertainty there with Carlos, but we have to just wait and see, guys. You know, go LA.
So tell us, John, exactly how did your team get on this week, brother?
They didn't get on so well, Christopher. They did not get on so well. Beaten by those dirty bastards. The dirty bastards. New York Red Bulls.
Oh, the sons of bitches.
Sons of bitches. 3-0. 3-0.
Free zip, bro? Free
zip. Beaten in the cup. And that little bastard from Scotland, Lewis Morgan, scored against us as well. Little shite.
That little SOB.
I believe they call him a little shite.
What a piece of shit.
They call him back there in fucking ball bag. He's a ball bag.
He's a ball bag. Yeah. He's an absolute ball bag. They took advantage of us going down to 10 minutes. Never a sending off, in my opinion. But yeah, 3-0 against the fucking Red Bulls, man.
Everyone hates the Red Bulls, man. They're such a the company. They're corporate. Yeah. The fucking Red Bulls, man.
Fucking Red Bulls, man.
Bad as that fucking Leipzig mob from Germany.
Yeah.
Fuck the Red Bulls, man.
Yeah, come on, Tesco Kick. That's just as good, and it's only 39p, brother.
Hey, no, it's Walmart Kick.
Oh, Walmart Kick.
Kick. Come on, bro. Walmart Kick.
Shit, I'm sorry, dude.
Anyways, dudes, more MLS chat on Soccer Daft next week, and until then, keep living the dream, the American dream.
Socceroo. Oh no, that's fucking Australian, isn't it? for Grado's 3 Riddles on Football Daft. Time of the week, it's the last one in the current series, Grado's 3 Riddles. Grado's 3 Riddles, big part of Football Daft for the last almost a year. Very, very much enjoyed it, but it's doing my fucking nut in now. The amount of messages I'm getting for shite riddles. Let's go in high. What's the scores on the boards, John?
The scores on the boards are as follows. Mark's on 1, Keane Toes on 1, Ali McDonald's on 1, Pat the Power Prick 1, Declan Ramage is on 1, Ian Miko 1, Jack 1, Sheep FM 2, Producer Ryan 2, Nicola Purdon is on 2, Ryan the Bar 3, Ali Dixon 3, Albert's Legend 4, Dean's on 10, Stephen is on 25, I'm on 26, Chris is on 49, meaning one more and he gets to take over the Riddle crown. But we've got last week's riddle to go to first, and this one everyone struggled with. I had to put it up onto the Twitter today, and someone finally got it. The riddle was from Bentley Esteban. It said, Shia LaBeouf's role as a wee boy, similar to a tattoo. You guys didn't get it, did you?
Remember?
Right, so Shia LaBeouf's role as a wee boy was in the programme Even Stevens, so it was Stephen we were looking for there, and similar tattoo was Pearson.
Oh, Stephen.
How is a piercing similar to a tattoo?
Well, because you get them in the same shop, don't you?
Who said that?
You get haircuts in there and all, but you don't fucking hear anybody talking about that, do you?
You don't. What tattoo shop do you get haircuts in?
No, but there's hairdressers that pierce your ears.
There is. I can hold my hands up and say in the main street down the steps, there's a barber's who obviously cut hair because they're barbers, and you can also get a tattoo in there as well.
And also Claire's Accessories. You walk in there to buy a couple of bangles and you can get your nose pierced.
Right, okay. Well, it's from Bentley Esteban, but someone managed to get it, and it was John Mitchell. So he goes up to 3 points on the board.
Well done, John Mitchell.
Well done, John, man.
Right, Grado,
let's riddle us, bro.
Right, let me get you riddled.
How's the standard been this week?
Standard's been poor once again, and I feel bad that I'm new because I'm trying to go through ones that people have sent just to say sorry, thanks for your attempt and stuff like that. I appreciate you, but we just can't fit it in.
Can we talk
not like the one for the weekend, Grado?
Can we talk about the fact you got into a fight with someone over these riddles on Twitter or Grado? Can we talk about?
I don't even really remember much of that night, to be honest with you, because I was a wee bit drunk. I can't remember what it was about, and I've got the fear going back.
I believe he called his riddle shite, and then you had a bit of back and forth with him.
I think I remember what I said was the shite, and he went, calm down. And I went, you fucking calm down.
How the fuck did I miss this? When was this?
Did you know that's just...
At the weekend, Stephen, I can't believe it. Check the group chat for details.
Was it Saturday night?
It was Sunday night. I was a wee bit cheeky to fucking Sunday night, if I'm being honest.
Oh.
Have we got the guy's name so I can say sorry to him officially?
Sorry to him. Hold on, let me just check the chat here. So
it doesn't matter. I replied to him. That's enough. Right, here we go. Here's the first.
mate, you offered him out for a fight.
You fucking Camden.
He says up at a chippy at fucking Ardrossan or something like that.
I can't remember what it
That's brilliant, man. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's Cal McCoy. Cal McCoy,
thanks very much for listening to the show, my boy. Here we go, riddles. This one came in at 15:59 today, and I thought I've got to use this, man. This is Andrew Grierson, and he has went with the riddle. Try and get this, guys. This is for the winner. Bruce prefers the morning. Comic Sans Scottish solo. It's a lot to take in.
Louis Fontaine.
Well done, John. Holy fuck.
Yeah! Oh. Well played, John.
How did you manage that? Just
Guys, Comic Sans is a font and he's went for it, man. Well done, John.
Well done, John.
Good,
well
mate.
done.
Oh, Chris is still waiting for this
one. Ahead of me now.
Right, here we go, guys.
Oh no, you might catch me now.
I am an angel who plays baseball with a speech impediment. Let's see if I've read that right. I am an angel who plays baseball with a speech impediment. I am an angel who plays baseball with a speech impediment. Speech impediment. Fuck.
Easy for what the irony of you getting that wrong.
I know. Jesus.
Speech impediment, stammer.
Stutter, lisp.
I am an angel who plays baseball with a speech impediment.
Gabriel Batistuta.
Fucking Elcrow, how do you manage that?
Oh!
Angel Gabriel stutter.
Aye, Batistuta.
Oh, well done.
Batter for baseball.
Well done.
Well, that came from the great Cornholio.
Wow, that's for
well done, the great Cornholio.
Honestly, man,
great Cornholio.
It's been an absolute fucking pleasure getting riddled, man.
I've got two, Mary. Why see if you can quickly, because I just feel you'll find me joined to these cities where gladiators once fought and where Christ looks down on the golden sands.
Right, Christ looks down the golden sands in Rio. Rome is where the gladiators once fought.
Aye, you're basically, if you can join that together.
Romario.
Well done, Toal.
Oh.
Right, this one I didn't get. And I just wasn't going to use it, but and I
feel sorry 'cause I've lost the guy's name, right?
Sodium on the table, a leg usually has one.
Saltney.
No.
A leg usually has one.
I don't really know what you meant.
Naddy?
Christian Naddy.
No, but mate, it's close. How are you getting that? Right, it's for Charles Laird, I've just found it. Sodium on the table, a leg usually has one. What are you getting that for, John? What you basing that on?
Sodium's Na and it's chemical.
Fucking hell, right.
Nanny.
Nanny!
Nanny!
It's time for the Football Daft moment of the week. Last week's results are in, and there was a landslide winner, but first of all, let's get to the runners-up. In last place, it was the listener nomination, Bob Aggs' 1983's nomination of the Aussie keeper shithousery after he kicked away the bottle with the penalty instructions for the Peru keeper and danced about the line like a wiggle. So that only got just under 14.2%. In third, Stephen's nomination, Grado is no longer a Don. That got 14.8%. But obviously, we have found out throughout this episode that it is actually a Don because he had a Aberdeen goalkeeper top from fucking.
He's making me sick.
So that kind of.
He's making you sick.
He's fucking making me sick.
Don't say macking me.
And then that means it was between Chris and Grado for the win. It was Chris's nomination that was in second with his wedding post to Big Ange, 15.4%, with a landslide victory, however, and it was Grado's nomination of Tom Stopeman wearing 55. And do you know what? That got just out of 55%, it got 56%. So there you go.
It's a sign.
That's a sign.
It's a sign. So, Grado, you get to go first with your nomination for your Football Daft moment of the week. What is it?
Moment of the week. We've discussed it in the group chats, and I don't know if the way this podcast is edited, if I've mentioned it before. However, it's going to be, John, when you put in a picture, or whoever it was that put in the WhatsApp, Football Daft WhatsApp, the picture of Falkirk's new strip, which on first glance, it looks like a decent strip. However, in the middle, crunchycarrots.co.uk, a big picture of a carrot with a big bit in it. Crunchy?
It's nothing to do. Right, can we just clear something up right now?
Is it his carrots?
It's nothing to do with carrots, right?
Is that what he does now, John? Is he a carrot salesman?
No, he's not. It's nothing to do with Kev McAllister. It's nothing to do with carrots. It's a web design company called crunchycarrots.co.uk. Unfortunately, the logo isn't the best and it looks like a big slug.
That's funny, but right, because see the way I obviously thought it was somebody selling carrots. I was just looking on Twitter there about it, and there's guys going like, "This is great for the local community. If the local fruit and veg guys getting his sponsor on the tap, it's good for Scotland. It's good for a cold day with carrots."
Brilliant. Is crunchy carrots, man. Oh bloody hell! Right, so crunchy carrots from Grado. Chris, you were next up. What are you going for?
I'm going to go for a non-football related one this week. I've started watching a programme called The Offer, and it's all about the making of The Godfather, but it's a dramatisation of it.
Wow!
See what they went through to get this movie made. They would have quit cinema straight after it, man. Honestly, you thought The Godfather was telling a mafia story. See, getting this fucking movie made. It's the biggest mafia story you've ever fucking heard in your life. Get it watched. It's on Sky. The Offer, it's called.
Oh, really?
I'm going to give that a bash this weekend, man.
I remember listening to podcasts like back in the days. That's what a lot of the like, mobs and gangs were putting their money into, wasn't it? Like films.
Aye.
They were investing in it,
it's the complete opposite of this, Grado. The mafia thought that this...
Don't ruin it for us.
Right, well, basically the mafia wanted it shut down. And
I remember.
When you watch it, you'll find out why.
Yeah, I remember hearing that story. Right, watch that one on Sky. Stephen, what you got?
I'm going to go. We touched on it at the start of the show, but I'm going to go for one of the most iconic nappers in Scottish football. Is no more. Mr. Paul McGowan, who had a very interesting head of hair, shall we say, has had a wee trip to Turkey, and the famous Barnet, the iconic Barnet, has changed, and it is no more. So my moment of the week is McGowan's gone to Turkey. Brothers in arms with the hair, or should be brothers in hair. You know what I mean? I'd just like to say the aftercare came a bit of a pain in the arse. So if you are listening, DM me, brother, if you need any advice.
So there we go.
Anyway, if he's listening, you better fucking start running.
And this week's listener nomination comes from two people, both tweeting us separately, Grant and Ethan. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, boys, but the penalty shootout that you never thought you wanted to see is happening this weekend at Gayfield.
Saw that.
It is Craig Levine versus Dick Campbell in a penalty shootout at half-time.
Oh, that's gold.
Pre-season friendly between Arbroath and Brecon. Dick Campbell and Craig Levine are going to be taking penalties at half-time. That is worth the admission ticket alone into Gayfield to see it. I'm thinking about making a trip up there.
Is Craig Levine involved with Brecon now?
Yes, he's a consultant, I believe, or he's part of the board up there. Aye, he's part of the board up there. So there you go. Sorry, it's at Glebe Park, not Gayfield. This Saturday, it's Craig Levine versus Dick Campbell in a penalty shootout.
What are they going to wear?
What's that?
What are they going to wear?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it'll be a good laugh.
So there you go. Get yourself up there and check that out. So the Football Daft moments of the week are as follows. Grado.
What was that I said again?
Crunchy carrots. Carrot. Chris.
Hold on. Carrot, dangle a carrot. What can I say?
All carrot, nae stick.
All carrot, nae stick.
All carrot, nae stick. Chris, what you
got?
All
carrot, nae strip.
All carrot, nae strip.
That makes sense? Oh, fuck off. I'm fed up with this.
Aye.
Chris, what you got?
An offer you can't refuse.
Nice. Stephen. You muted yourself.
McGowan's gone to Turkey.
McGowan's gone to Turkey. And from the listeners, it is Campbell versus Levine. That is your Football Daft moments of the week. Get voting on them right now at Football Daft Pod on the Twitter. Guys, we're going to be taking 2 weeks off, or a couple of weeks off, just because of holidays. Grado's filming, Stephen's filming, so we're having a couple of weeks off, and we'll be back at the start of next season. But if in the meantime you want more content from this podcast, all you need to do is sign up to our Patreon, patreon.com/football daft. You're going to get Lots more content from the show up there in our absence on the podcast for the next couple of weeks. You'll see all the teammates up there, chance to be Rangers and Celtic Daft pundits. Going to be able to get cameos from the boys if you want. You'll get first dibs of getting a song from Chris. All that sort of stuff is up on our Patreon channel now. Sign up, more features, more content coming very, very soon. But in the meantime, get involved, get your Football Daft fix. Patreon.com/Football Daft. That's it for this week's show. Thank you very much for listening. We're going to take a couple of weeks off now. I'm going on holiday. Stephen starts filming. Grado starts filming 2 Doors Down, and Chris is knackered.
I'm going to chug myself into oblivion.
There we go. Obviously, going out. Chris is wanking himself into oblivion. Fantastic.
John, will you get a wank in Florida, mate?
I would. No, I'm with my family, Grado.
I'm with my family.
Oh, what do you want to get wanks and none of your family are there?
We're not getting into this. We could bring up stories from Grado's WhatsApp chat this week, but we'll not get into that, Grado, will we?
Hey, listen, you don't speak outside of school. All right,
exactly. Right, anyway, so we're off for the next.
By the way, I'm still getting shit for that.
I'm sure the listeners can guess what happened there. But listen, if you want more Football Daft content, as you heard before, patreon.com/Football Daft. We'll be back in a couple of weeks to start of pre-season, really. Not far away now till the start of the season, is it? It's about a month away now.
29th. 30th of July.
Are you guys going to make it along to any of the friendlies?
I doubt it.
I'll be there, aye.
Yeah.
I might head down to a couple of the cup games, the Rovers Cup games.
Oh, good for you, Chris. Good on you. Why are you laughing?
Good for you, Chris.
No, listen, support your League One side.
That's cute.
Doing your bit for your local team there, Chris.
Exactly. Support your local team.
We're League 2, mate. It's your team that's League 1.
I know. Well, support your local team. That's what I say. Shout out as well if you are a Falkirk supporter, if you're a Kilmarnock supporter, or if you just like football, head down to the Falkirk Stadium this Friday. The official renaming of the South Stand to the Kent McAllister Stand is happening 7:30 kickoff. So get yourself down there and watch a Falkirk legend become part of the stadium.
You were putting yourself to sleep there, man.
I was trying to work out what I said. I was trying to come along.
Imagine that, imagine if they just put him in a case.
Aye. Come along, watch a legend become part of the stadium.
It's like fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in basketball. Remember, they've got the actual Kareem Abdul. Haven't they seen it?
No, I've not seen that.
I've seen it, but I don't remember it.
Thank you very much for listening.
Talk about that in our podcast.
Rate, review.
That's the Great Scott Cinema Club podcast on the Bicycle and Keezy.
Rate, review the podcast on Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. We need to think of an episode title for this week. I'm going to put forward 10 ciders and black.
What about crunchy carrots?
Well, crunchy carrots. It's got to be crunchy carrots.
Crunchy carrots then is this
week's
week's
crunchy carrots.
show name. There we go. Enjoy your 2 weeks if you're going on holiday, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Audio Frontier.